When you're saying that you notify social media sites of disinformation, are you actually telling people that you routinely tell social media companies what to suppress and what not to suppress? That's kind of what it sounds like, yeah?
State media.
Yeah, I'm just saying it sort of sounds like that. Okay. But what happens when the disinformation actually is not disinformation? I mean, the FBI, did they actually acknowledge the fact that they suggested that the laptop that existed and was in their custody was fake and didn't exist, and that the mere statement that it existed was Russian disinformation? Because that's kind of what they did. They did that. Just wondering. They realized this, right? Yeah, they knew. They did more than just notify. Come on. They knew that this was all, they knew what was authentic. They knew what was. They wanted to try to suppress the story. They went after New York Post. It just looked even, like I said, it just looked even worse. The FBI has a piece out, Miranda Devine, how the FBI put the Hunter Biden story right in Facebook's lap. I mean, there's one thing to say that the Russians are going to come out with some disinformation, et cetera, et cetera. By the way, I don't believe that they have I don't believe that the government should be suppressing anything, even if it is disinformation. You know why? It's a very mean reason. If a people are going to be stupid enough to believe stupid false things, and they don't want to take the time to do the due diligence to look it up and see if it's true before rage mobbing on social media, then we deserve to get pummeled into a hole in the ground and go to hell in a handbasket. That's what I believe. Then blank it all. I know it's very fatalist. I have a very fatalist attitude about all this, but it's not the government's decision. We're saying that we believe in outsourcing this to the government is that we believe that the people in the government are smarter than we are to determine what is true and what is not. And I don't believe that. Do you? I mean, they're some of the dumbest people I know are in government. In fact, all of the dumbest people I know are in government, or they simp for them. One of the two. That's the opinion. So why would we appeal to that brain trust or lack thereof to determine what is or is not real? That's our responsibility. This is why I don't believe in giving my vote away with term limits. Because I agree with the founders in the Federalist Papers that term limits are the public's responsibility. Somehow a lot of people on the right got swindled into agreeing with Democrats on this, and I have no idea how. I'm trying to figure out when did that happen. So basically you could sit here and talk about the timeline. The bottom line is that I don't care how that John Paul Mac Isaac looks like a cartoon character. I don't care, because he does. Can I just say one day, I think he's funny. Isn't he a Scottish dude? He wears the beanie with the fabric ball on the top of it. And he's got his turtleneck that's like one shade of green lighter than the pullover of green that he has over it. He's all monochromatic, and he looks like Johnny Lyden's brother. I love it. I mean, I don't even know how I would cast this if I was making a movie. This just makes it better. I believe every bit of it. I totally believe that the whole family they're perverted and corrupt. And I think that when you got two kids on drugs and one of them is 40-something years old, writing in her diary how she used to shower with daddy, there's some really messed up stuff happening. And when you've got a 50-something-year-old man-child who has multiple laptops that he apparently leaves everywhere, and he constantly records himself fiddling with himself and everything else, I mean, it's just, come on. There's some weird... You can't write this stuff. So yeah, the FBI, I absolutely believe they try to hide it, because what was the disinformation? Because it existed. Are you saying that the mere fact of putting it into the electoral cycle or giving it to the media, that it's disinformation to say, hey, look at the recordings that these people made of themselves and the emails where they talked about fleecing Americans? It's disinformation to put that out there. No, that's actually called whistleblowing. Isn't that what the left loves to say? Anytime the left gets information that is disadvantageous to someone on their political opposite, they always like, oh, whistleblowing. Yeah, we know you like blowing whistles. We get it. Okay. But this is not disinformation. This is an actual real thing. The FBI had it in their possession. It was an actual existing thing. So there you go. It just, they've got a lot of questions to answer.